What's up, guys?
No.
Welcome. No?
So cooked.
Welcome to Trims and Talk.
What's going on?
All the credits.
I just wanna talk with my brothers, is that too much to ask? Might as well look sharp, cause I'm doing it too. Trims and talk. Trims and talk. Trims and talk. I wanna know.
Yeah, we are here on the Trims and Talk podcast as we always do, and with this beautiful young fella in the middle.
I'll take that.
Luca, you have got two of us on that.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? We're there on the side just to accentuate. It's the same way, like when we have, last time we had Aiden, again, another beautiful young brother.
Well, that's our road in life, to make these young guys feel even better.
Yeah, I'll take that.
Just to look good.
It's not often I hear that, so yeah, I'll take that.
So what's been happening, man? Because I know you've been in Valencia and stuff, and
been in Valencia with the 6+1 lot. So just been loving life with them lot recently. Just been spending a lot of time with 6+1. And
so how do you get involved? Because we had NAF and we had
you had NAF and Bob's on, didn't you?
Yeah. So how did you get involved in 6+1?
So a lot of people that I knew anyway went to the group prior to me going, and then I think you both know, you will have met Manya before. This is Manya's brand, the guy, he does Future. The young Zambian man.
Yeah, young Zambian guy.
And Manya was
actually, that's one guy we need to kind of
you do need to get Manya on.
Yeah.
And he basically said to me one week, like, do you fancy going? And he knows I'm into my fitness. And obviously being a firefighter, I've got to stay fit. And then I think maybe he just wanted someone who he was comfortable with to go with as well. So then just went along with Manya and then went from there. But like I said, I knew a lot of people anyway, so it just felt like home instantly, and that's sort of like the community anyway.
Yeah. But that's the thing about, the whole 6+1 thing. I don't know whether the prerequisite to join, you have to be beautiful, right?
Young and beautiful.
When
Krebs and Nafa, and I was sort of saying, well, I'm too old for it, and he said, but my mum comes. My grandma comes.
Yeah, never. There's aunties, uncles, everyone that comes, so you should come along. It's just good vibes, always.
Yeah.
There's never a time where I'm with them and I don't feel happy.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So what is it about it which makes, you feel that contentment?
Do you know what? I think it's that nowadays I've heard this on the podcast before, but there's not really that community like there used to be back in the day. Like growing up, you could just go and knock on someone's house and like literally just turn up at the house and you could spend a day there, or like you knew where your friends were because the bikes were on the front, whereas you don't really have that in today's society because everything's so social media and online.
We've talked about that here as well. So for instance, growing up, I used to always see my parents, my dad's friends in particular, my mum's friends. In fact, I can't even remember my mum's friends, but my dad's friends used to come round to the house, they'd knock on the door and they'd sit in the front room for ages and just chat, and that's how they kept touch with people. Whereas today, as you say, it's social media, and that in itself causes an issue, doesn't it?
Yeah, definitely. I feel like I'm the last of, my generation was the last generation to grow up without social media as well. So my childhood was very much like, you knew where your friends were because all the bikes were stacked on the front. Or like you're all at the park together, or you're out playing till the street lights come on, and then you had someone shouting out the street that your mum were looking for you, you've got to get home. Whereas now that's all changed, and then I think going to that group, it just gives you that sense of community where you're not having to, everything's not online, it's face to face, and you're just enjoying people's presence, and you're working towards a goal that's can only be of benefit to you in terms of like it's progressing your health, in terms of just doing a run. Don't matter what pace you're doing it at, you're there to better yourself in terms of fitness and mentally as well. It's very. I find it very good for my mental health. So that's why I love going. I feel like there I can just forget my worries for 2, 3, 4 hours and just enjoy people's presence.
And that's important, isn't it? Luca, and because we haven't introduced you, have we? So Luca, we should introduce you. You introduce yourself for us.
So my name's Luca. I am a firefighter. I'm a father, and I'm a Christian. Newly found Christian, I would say. I've only really got in touch with my faith over the last year and a half, like properly. But yeah, that's me. I just try to be a better version of myself every day. So that's
Where did you grow up? You grew up in Sheffield? Or?
Yeah, so I grew up in like Winkerbank and Pitsmore, Grimesthorpe area.
Oh, yeah.
So like
yeah.
Pitsmore towards Meadowhall, basically.
Yeah.
And then I grew up without my dad. Then when my mom was about, when I was about 8 or 9, my mom met my now stepdad, who's from down south. And then when the summer I was turning 13, we moved down south for, well, they're still down there. I just came back on my own.
Oh, okay, so whereabouts down south?
Bedford.
Bedford, all right.
Milton Keynes and Luton.
Milton Keynes, yeah.
So yeah, I always said when I'm old enough, I'm going to come back on my own.
Yeah.
Because obviously I had my roots here anyway. I had all my childhood friends, all my family here. So I said when I'm old enough, I'm going to come back on my own. And I did when I was 19. So I spent 7 years down there.
Yeah.
All right.
But yeah.
Dang. So why come back? I know, I mean, you want to connect and stuff and what have you. So you come back, what, to finish your education and...
Nah, it's just, I was, like I said, I was nearly 13 at that point. All my friends were just going to secondary school, and then I've just been dragged out of that when, you know, like I say, I've got all my roots here, I've got all my friends, all my childhood memories and everything established in Sheffield. So to then go to a completely new place 2 hours away, and I have to try and make those connections again when I'm then meeting people who have already got their roots established as well in Bedford. It was sort of hard to intertwine with that. And I always felt like that was going to be the case, like it would be hard to make friendships. And it was, if I'm being honest. So I'd say I probably have like 2 or 3 still true friends from Bedford, which is not a bad thing, but and you don't really have many true friends anyway.
No, not at all.
It's not a bad thing, but I just felt like I could never settle there.
Yeah.
Whereas I've still got my friends here now that I had.
So the move back then, do you feel as if it's worked for you? Or it is working for you, is probably better.
Yeah, I'm definitely happier here than I would be there. The only thing I do miss is obviously seeing my parents and my brothers every day, and like being able to just go home and you've got your mum's nice cooked meal. Because my mum's white, but my mum's very much involved in black culture. Like that, most of her friends are, you know, of Caribbean, African descent, and that's all I grew up around. Like, so even though I didn't grow up with my dad, I still very much had the cultural aspect of what I would have got from my dad through my mum because of the places she put me in with her close friends and people we consider family. So I'm still very much in touch with like Jamaican roots due to my mum, even though she's white British.
Yeah, because I remember last time we had Kent Roach here, we spoke about his mom, again, like white mom, because usually sometimes there's this unspoken thing that, you know, you go like, you'll talk about your dad, you know what I'm saying? So how influential has your mom been?
Oh, very influential. She made me the man I am today. Definitely. And she gave me like the values and morals that I have. So, like I say, no one's perfect, but I genuinely feel like I try to be a good man and a better version of myself every day. And that's down to my mom, you know, my Auntie Sam, my Auntie Mary, those people that she put me around growing up with and teaching me those morals. And another reason she wanted us to move away was because of the area we grew up in. There was a lot of gang violence at the time. Like, I don't know if you remember, like 20 years ago.
I remember.
Like, I've had, you know, best friends' brothers that have been killed because of that, and other people involved in that. Like, people on my street, the house is getting shot at, our house getting shot at because of these things. So I grew up in that, but my mum didn't want my 2 younger brothers growing up in that.
Okay. So you're the eldest one?
Yeah. So then when we moved away, my middle brother was 4 and my youngest brother was due to be born that October. So we moved in like the June or the July. So she didn't want them growing up in that either. So yeah, again, my mum's instilled into me, like, from being young, like, we grew up around that, but I'm very much not a product of that environment. I guess it's not what happens to you, but how you choose to react to it.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. And my mum taught me how to react in a positive way.
And at the same time, it's giving you a real sense of identity of who you are as a person.
Yeah, definitely. So I feel like my mum instilled good morals in me in terms of like, even just things like, I don't know, chivalry and stuff like that. Like, I like to, I don't know, I like
so
to. So
you're the guy who will stand up and help a lady to the chair.
Yeah, all that. I think, and
you're a gentleman.
I try to be. Like I said, no one's perfect, but I always try to be the best version of myself for anyone in the world.
And it's a struggle, isn't it? Being the best person you'd like to be, because sometimes trouble comes at you.
Yeah.
You know, and trials and tribulations there, and you know, and sometimes you're just so in the moment with the difficulties of life that you forget about those other things.
100%.
And there has to be something which is quite instinctive about you saying, I know I need to have some support, some help. And that's how we sort of got in contact, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because I first met you at the Pop-Up Barbers event, which took place last November.
Was that the first time?
First time. And I remember seeing you, there was, we were having this sort of, we had one of those conversation groups taking place there.
With... who was it? Was it David Campbell?
Was it David Campbell?
Yeah, David Campbell,
Did you ask him the question, which was, how do you essentially make it?
Yeah. I think there was me, Aidan, Manya, and a few of that. I remember asking questions.
And I remember his answer. His answer was just basically, whatever you do, be the very best you can be at what you do. And he said, when I was a landscape gardener, I wanted to be the very best landscape gardener I could be. And I just thought that was brilliant advice, because I thought at times people were like looking for some sort of magic answer.
No, that's it. But don't I think, especially now that there's social media, there's always that sense of, you know, there's people who sell this thing. Oh, if you sign up to my course, you'll be making like 5 figures. So, you know what I'm saying? And to be honest, life isn't like that. You just be the best version that you can be and stuff.
I do find that hard at times, though, because I'm quite a perfectionist.
Yes.
So that can be challenging for me. I know it can be challenging for those around me as well at times. Like maybe like my mom probably knows me better than anyone. But she knows that even just little things like I have to perfect everything. Like even if I'm decorating my room, and then it's like something has to be perfect, and if not, I can't rest on it.
But in a sense, there's a drive there, isn't there? There's a drive in yourself to actually to be the best you can be. And in the year I've known you, that's come across. You know, you came to the Black Men's Group, and you said your piece. You know, you said, can I have the floor? and you had the floor, you shared with people there, and you sort of like, for me, it was a sense of, I can just stay with the pain and the difficulty, or I can try and work at it. Whereas a lot of, and I think it's Robert says that thing about 1 to 10. You can stay at 1 or 2, you know, which is what a lot of us, I've done this stay at 1 and 2, just in my own self-pity, my own sort of like, woe betide me, all that sort of stuff there. Or you can go to 9, 10, which is explode, or you can try and work at it. And that's what's come across to me, is that you've sought to try and work at it, as difficult as it is, to work at it.
Yeah, definitely. And I think, like I said, I tied into like religion. I feel like reading the Bible's massively helped with that, massively, in terms of like reading scriptures and stuff, and just allowing me to, I don't know, there'd be certain situations where I would have, like Rob said, on the scale of 1 to 10, I might have gone to, you know, a 7, 8, 9 before. It's even like little things like traffic and someone cuts you off. But now, especially over, like I said, the last year and a half, I just try and put things in a bigger picture altogether. Good or bad, in terms of like, someone might have cut me up, but they might be in a rush because they might have a family member dying in hospital, for example. So I just try and put things into perspective like that and think, well, you know, there's no harm that's come my way, so just give them the benefit of the doubt and just let it be, because what is me holding a grudge?
So do you feel as if there's a calmer self coming there?
Oh, 100%, yeah. I've had to be calmer over the last year and a half, given my situation and the fact that I've not wanted to react of any other way other than to be calm, because I have to be that example for my son growing up as well. I don't want him to see a dad who's reacting out of anger. Like, I don't want that. I want him to see someone who's, you know, emotionally intelligent, and like I say, I'm not perfect, but someone that can regulate their emotions and just manage that and be a good person, so to speak, and like I say, try and accept things for what they are rather than reacting out of emotion. Just take a step back and think about it for a minute, that sort of thing.
Because I remember in that conversation we were having when you sort of like took the floor, and the guys there, we were all doing our own reflection because we've all been through things, and that was one of the things that came across, which is, you got to think about it in the long term. You know, these things have a, you know, if you have a child, it's the long term. You know, it's not just where I'm at the moment. It is, you know, I mean, I was out with my son yesterday, who's 33, and it was great. But you have to be there for 33 years to be with your son at 33. It doesn't happen any other way, sort of stuff. So that came across, and them guys, and I find it interesting the way in which you interact with these older guys. It's intergenerational as well. You work really well in that situation.
I think again with that, it's because of the groups and the areas that my mum's put me in. Like I say, a lot of her friends are like black and ethnic minorities, for example. And then through that although they're friends, they're family, aren't they? So then they've got like brothers that I consider like uncles, and I think from them, because obviously they're also a lot older, and I'm on such a level with them, and they've raised me. I don't know. I think I appreciate that group with you guys, for example, because it's almost like an extended family of those people that I've been raised with. So again, it feels almost like a bit like 6+1, like a bit like homely. Like I just feel comfortable in being my true self and just talking about emotions, or it's not always emotions. Sometimes we're just having a laugh. But again, it's being home and like I was growing up. So
because for me, it's like I was talking to somebody recently about your guys' generation and the generation after you, the articulation of your and that self-regulation of emotions, because. There was a time like when I had my other older boy, and I'm thinking, this generation doesn't say much, but the reality is they do say much. But sometimes I think our generation is not listening.
It's interesting.
You know what I'm saying? Because I think it's like for us, because we grew up in that generation where kids were seen and not heard.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So. We never learned how to express ourselves, even to our children. Because, like sometimes we speak about this quite a lot, like, the whole ability to tell your kids you love them, to hug them and be expressive that way. But I'm just trying to figure out for your generation, was it something you grew up seeing? Or it's just been something that one day you woke up and you were like...
I put it down to probably my mum and my stepdad. Like I say, my stepdad's like, he is my dad, so to speak. Now. Like obviously he's been in my life 20 plus years. But my mum's always just, and my stepdad have made me just feel comfortable. And my extended family, have made me feel comfortable in just being able to express how I'm feeling. And I have always been I have always had that sort of mental state of I'll just get along with things on my own. And I feel like I've always been able to do that until this situation over the last 18 months, and then that was like a whole new level of breaking me down. So then from there, that's when again I still tried to get on with it on my own, and then I got to a point where I thought I can't. So then I spoke to my family. I've had talking therapy with SACMA. So again, I don't know, I feel like I feel comfortable as an individual in just expressing how I'm feeling.
And I think what you give myself, and maybe to the group is, and that's probably a part of that intergenerational bit, which is, as Lungani says, I'm probably from a generation which she's quite used to and was brought up to talk at and not listen to. And actually, I've had to do more listening to of recent with yourself and Aidan and other young people like that, because there is a way in which you sort of like are prepared to engage with vulnerability in a way in which we didn't engage with vulnerability and still find it quite difficult to do now.
I feel like my generation is still like that though, but I feel like maybe I'm just one of a small minority that is just happy to talk about it, because I like, even to the point, I'll tell my friends I love them, because I do love them, you know what I mean, like, and I feel like you need to let people know you love them, because you don't know what, tomorrow's never promised.
Well, last week we had Nigel, and Nigel talked about a loss of a very, very close friend, and how
DJ
Ranks there, and how losing a very, you said earlier about you have 3 or 4 really good friends, best friends in your life. You get to a certain age, you may lose 1 or 2 of them, and it's a massive void in your life So you do need to actually say to those 3 or 4, 5 best friends, I love you.
Yeah.
You are.
Yeah, that's
you know,
it.
We've been through a lot. You know so much. We know so much about one another.
Yeah.
We don't do that much enough, and I think we should do, because you will miss them, or they will miss you.
Definitely. And I feel like I can tell sometimes. I can tell the people that they don't know how to take it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's it.
Well, I just think.
Well, that's the one, another one, isn't it? But how do you take a compliment as well?
Yeah.
Because there's a compliment there
Yeah.
to say to someone like that, you are special to
Yeah,
me.
like I
How
value
do you take
so-
a compliment? Can you take a compliment?
I think so, yeah, because I feel like I said, not to be big-headed, but I do try and be a good man. So I feel like if someone's recognising that with a compliment, I don't know, I appreciate it, but again, I put that down to the way I was raised. But I can even like if it's via text,
Yes.
and you just send some it's to the point like in today's generation, like I said, everything's social media. I'll have to send my friend like a meme or something which implies that
Yes.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
value
bit of a
him or I
joke.
love him,
Yeah.
or like in a jokey way.
Yeah.
But you have to do it that
Yeah.
way for him, so it's not like they feel less awkward. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look, God, can you take a compliment?
Oh yeah. I'm
I'm trying to find a compliment for you.
No. I have found no. For real. That's the thing I have had to learn, and I think I learned that through the podcast, because we have spoken about that very thing extensively.
Yeah.
And you get to a point where like, yeah. Thank you. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes it's like just to acknowledge that, because I think. To be honest, I think sometimes we can be so dismissive, because I think when somebody says something which requires your response, and you don't respond I'll say probably in a not educated way. Yeah, like probably like educated way. It shows, in a deep way. Because it's like when you're with your missus or whatever, and she says, I love you, and they say, oh, yeah. Thank you.
just brush it off.
Yeah. Because there's a generation. It's like somebody was saying that every time he told his mom, "I love you," and she says, "Well done." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The old African way of I was watching actually a video clip which actually had me rolling, because this guy, he says some term of endearment to his woman, and she started saying, "What's wrong?" That kind of thing of, because you don't say it enough.
Yeah.
Now it's a new thing. Maybe, where did you learn this thing? You know what I'm saying? Like, where did you really learn this thing? Because I think some of our lives are so devoid of that intimacy that when it actually manifests itself, or when we learn, somehow it feels like
foreign language.
Like you just learned
foreign
it.
language,
Because
that's
when we had Quabs and Naf on, they talked about 6+1, and that was they seemed to sort of like be saying that there was so much space there for that type of, I'm not saying intimacy, but closeness to develop.
Yes,
100%.
When there's a downtime, people would just sit and talk, and they would just be chilled together there.
Yeah.
And is that something which you experience on 6+1?
Oh yeah, 100%. Like I said, I love everything about 6+1. Just the inclusivity, it don't matter what race, age, gender, religion, ability, disability you are. Anyone's welcome, and everyone seems to be on the same level of I'm just here to better myself and educate myself, and say, I might meet a young Muslim woman and just happen to get into a conversation with her about her faith, for example, or just even the way she was raised in their culture as opposed to mine, and just educating yourself on each other's upbringings. Or it might just be literally just having a chat there and then about something that happened at the run, but because it's a mutual thing that's happened, you can just come together and have that. I don't know, that it's sort of like a nice warm feeling.
Yeah, and there's something about 6+1, which when I've seen 6+1, where you do want, there's so much is so negative at the moment. Negative about Britain, negative about the world, negative about the idea that you can have many different people living in one space together, etc. That you do need 6+1 to remind you that actually there's a lot of this.
No, that's it.
And
That's
you know,
it.
because we do go into that storytelling of ourselves. You know, if you know, social media is terrible for this. You know, I've got TikTok, but I don't look at it because TikTok scares me. Because if you look at one thing, suddenly you get 100
You
of these
go down
things.
a
You
rabbit
think to
hole.
yourself, I'm not walking
I don't
down the
have it.
street because it's. But 6+1 is one of those uplifters, isn't it?
Oh, 100%, like I say. So we went to Valencia recently, so I think there was about probably 40 of us, maybe 40, 50 of us. So there was people competing in the high rocks and then people just going to support. I was one of the supporters. But again, I think outside of 2 people that went, I'd probably only met the rest of them people this year, or 3 people, sorry. But it felt like I've known them my whole life, and I was there supporting them, cheering them on. You know, we spent like 5 days together in Spain, whatever it was. And there was no... there's no awkwardness or anything. It's like instantly you are like family and lifelong family and friends, and you're very welcomed, and everyone gets along. And there might still be people that have the disagreements, but it's very much a place where you can come to a level on those disagreements and an understanding and see where each other's
So how's that
coming from.
place then? You know, because you've got this career, and the career as a
Firefighter, yeah.
firefighter there. What took you down? Because I mean, you've got that, which is clearly a very pressurised, and then you've got this one, which is 6+1 in terms of this sort of part of the leisure, etc. Just on the firefighter, what attracted you to that then?
Yeah, that's exactly what I was saying. You know, why?
So I think growing up, my uncle Naaman, he was like an older brother to me. He died when I was 8. He died in a car crash, so he would have been 21. But I always recall like sort of having conversations with him about being a firefighter. Like, and I know he wanted to be a firefighter. So obviously I grew up, moved down south, came back, got into like an office job and accounts and what have you. And then it was always at the back of my mind, like I still want to do it, but I just thought you had to go to university.
Yeah.
And like the typical education for me was not my place. Like I didn't hate school, but I just can't learn by just looking at text. So I just figured I'm gonna have no chance. Anyway, so I went to work with children in care instead, because I wanted to do something that was a bit more hands-on, and I wanted to do like a job where I felt like I was giving back rather than sitting behind a desk. 'Cause I wanted to do something selfless.
Yeah.
So I was working with children in care for a while, loved it, but there was still the firefighting at the back of my mind. So then it got to a point where I thought, let me just see what the application process is, and if I have to go to university, like I will, you know, I'll grit my teeth for 2 years and do it, sort of thing, because it's a dream job that I want. Like, it's still there in the back of my mind 10, 20 years later, so it's obviously something I want, and if I'm going to do it, then do it now. So I looked. You didn't have to have any university like accreditations or grades or what have you. It was just a case of there's like a rigorous recruitment process, and if you're successful, you're successful. So I applied, and fortunately enough, I got in first time after getting through the recruitment.
Which is quite an achievement, isn't it?
Apparently so, yeah, I didn't realise at the
quite a few
time.
people do it a few times,
Yeah,
don't they?
so I think most people on my course, I think there was 18 of us, and I think probably at least 2/3 it was like maybe the second, third, fourth time of applying. So yeah, it was quite good.
And so it's a physical, a sort of like psychological, intellectual.
The process is
That Benjamin Jacob.
sorry. The process is like, so you apply, and then initially you have some like online tests. So it's like personality questionnaires and situation questionnaires to see how you would react in a certain situation. You know, checking sort of like your integrity and your moral standings, that sort of thing. Then you have like literacy and numeracy, which when I did the numeracy one, I was certain I'd failed, because that was super hard, but obviously I didn't. Then you have physical testing, which again, it's sort of different activities that you regularly do in the fire service. They just sort of put you through your paces. Then you have like an interview stage, and then you have to do the literacy and numeracy test again in person, so they know that you've not cheated and what have you. And then it's just rigorous physical tests up to the start point of your course.
And you know, the physical test, is that rigorous?
Oh yeah, so you've got like we've got bleep tests. It could literally be anything and anything regarding firefighting. So climbing ladders. I think at one point they had us. Have you seen the masks that you put on self-contained breathing apparatus, and you have a cylinder on your back that puts clean air through, but they didn't turn it on. So we had the masks up to our face, just breathing in our own hot air, and then we had to go down into like a sewer, do a sewer crawl, come back up the other end, and you just do
a real sewer?
Yeah, a real sewer.
What?
And the week I did it, it had actually stormed.
Yeah.
Like torrentially stormed to the point where it was flooding, and the training centre's at the bottom of the hill, and the sewer we went in was at the bottom of the hill, what was flooded. So you do that. You do like putting equipment together and taking it back apart in like a certain amount of time, like 5 minutes. Climbing up a ladder and taking your hands off so you're only held on by your legs. Lifting heavy weights, running non-stop. Yeah, there's
so, you know, in terms of the fire service then, are there many people of colour in the fire service?
From my experience of South Yorkshire, no. But I try to get more involved in black and ethnic minority events that happen nationally. So like in the last 6 weeks, I've been to, I think, 2 events for like national black and ethnic minority firefighters. And I enjoy getting involved in that because it's nice to see obviously people, you know, it's nice to be seen and seeing people that look like you in them same spaces.
Because what you're saying, I'm hearing as well, is that here's something you want to do, you've dreamt of doing ever since you were a child, and how sometimes life can just basically say, well, I can't be that. You know, people like me don't do that. That sort of thing there. And actually, that's not the case. I mean, one of the beauties we've had, or one of the honours we've had being on this programme, the number of people who were the first.
That's it. Because I was, my experience with the fire service was exactly the opposite. I didn't even go far.
All right.
Did you try to go?
I tried. I tried.
Is that why you were turning your back on him then?
Never too late.
No. It's like now it's way too late. I've got pains in places I never knew I had places. But I remember having to breathe down this thing. When you breathe down this tube and it's supposed to move. Mine didn't even move. It did not do
all sorts. You have to even do little things like hearing tests, obviously vision tests. But yeah, regarding like black and ethnic minorities in the fire service, from especially in South Yorkshire, there's not many. But that's why I attend the events to hear more so about what's going on nationally. So I met, from going to these 2 events in the last 6 weeks, I met the first black woman firefighter in the UK. She's called Sam Samuels. She's got a very interesting story. It was amazing to meet her and listen to her. And you hear about people basically being in senior management teams and higher roles. There's not that many. So there was someone called Wayne Brown in West Midlands.
Yeah, I remember him, yes.
Unfortunately he passed earlier this year.
And again, I mean, he committed suicide, didn't he? Which, you know, one of the pressure which people of colour experience in some jobs, and particularly when they're in positions of seniority, where, you know, everything gets sort of like questioned. And that work pressure can undermine people as well. And we know of people who they've struggled.
And also, I know there is this sense of like you have to be twice as good as your counterparts. I don't know where that stems from, but it's ridiculous. But I hear people saying, "Oh we have to work twice as much to at least be on par with our colleagues," which sometimes I find very difficult to fathom. You know what I mean? Because
well, my brother has a saying which I keep to, which is, your vices are maximised and your virtues are minimised. Which, you know, because we've all got vices and we've all got virtues, but some people's virtues are sort of, they've gone stratosphere, and then their vices are minimised. You know, if you think, look at Boris Johnson, just have a ridiculous example. All his vices still didn't matter. And, you know, and so few virtues. But he was still made out to be a star as such. So for us at an ordinary level there, as ordinary people of colour, then actually in a position of, you know, some visibility, that's what can happen. And it weighs on people. And, you know, I think what you're doing there in terms of making connections outside of your immediate workplace is important, because otherwise you can easily feel lonely in that setting. And if you don't have some people around you who understand how you might be feeling as well, then I think it you know, because trouble will come. Work has trouble with it attached to it. Always is. There will be a situation where you just need some support.
I think that's the thing as well that I learned from going to them events is there was a young mixed race firefighter in London who committed suicide a few years ago, and he was being bullied essentially just for being young and Caribbean and taking
I remember that
West Indian food into the fire station and what have you. And so yeah, it's just learning about things like that as well, and educating yourself on them things really makes it hit home that you sort of maybe want to do. Because I've not experienced that in South Yorkshire. Like, they've been massively supportive of me, even to the point that when I fractured my knee during my training course, and I got through my training course, and then I ended up having to have like 6 months off work straight away. I did 1 day at the fire station, and then I was off for 6 months.
What?
Yeah. But they've been massively supportive. But it's still good to attend those things, even if you've not necessarily experienced it, to have a better understanding of that and see how those things have affected other people in the same, who look the same as you, for example.
Yeah. I know when I became got into a senior position, I went to this union meeting of the Association of College and School Leaders, and there was a guy there, a union person, and there's a room full of black senior FE sort of people. And he said, I hate to say this to you, but 10% of the union force is black in London. But 50% of my cases are with black managers. You know, so just say, if you're a manager, senior manager, where you're having to sort of manage people there, then you're going to get yourself in, you're going to be in situations sometimes where people are going to actually feel as if you're not doing what you should be doing in the way you should be doing it, and then they're going to take you, make an allegation against you, make a complaint against you, make this, that, the other, etc. And this is what he was saying, and that for me was really instructive, because it said to me, you do need to have some support. Some support there, even if it's just a support which is, you know what, I just need to be able to have a bit of a gripe.
I think, to be fair as well, I found that in South Yorkshire through going to these events again, it's then, because I've got a friend in South Yorkshire Fire and Rescue who's not a firefighter, but he works in the office side of things. And he's very much leads on a lot of the events that South Yorkshire attend in terms of like black and ethnic minorities. So I've then made connections either with him or via him to then other people in South Yorkshire too. So that's allowed me to meet other people of colour in, in my community, like my local workplace, for example. So that's helped in that sense.
So you are a trailblazer, aren't you?
I don't know.
30 years on, I'm 65 there. You're the first black firefighter I've met.
Oh.
Really? What?
Yes, really? Honestly.
Dude, where you been, man?
Where have I been? I know. I have not...
I'm surprised, because there's a station manager who's still active in South Yorkshire called Delroy, who everyone seems to know.
I've met him, sorry.
There we go.
I have met him, yes.
Yeah, Delroy.
Yeah, he's a larger than life.
Yes. I have met him.
So Delroy leads on getting us to a lot of them events as well. So
actually, the first
we'll have to get Delroy on then, won't we?
Oh yeah,
and then we can I can say that point again.
Yes.
And with honesty,
and say you are the second. Me, I'll probably say, because I got there's 2 firemen in my family. One's an older Linton Rowan, and then Richard Lee.
I know. I know Richard Lee.
Richard Lee,
Low Edges.
Yeah.
He's a driver at Low Edges,
Yeah,
is Richard about 37, 38?
No, he's
he's mid to late 40s.
Oh, okay, so that's
he's now 50. Yeah, towards 50, because I think same age as the missus. So Richard Lee.
Yeah, I know it. But
great guy. Great guy.
Low Edges is quite good for diversity as well, actually. On the same rotor as me, they've got, I think, 3 or 4 black and mixed race people. But, I think regarding being a firefighter as well, not that I initially did it. Well, I did kind of do it for this. I always thought if I have children, I want to be a role model.
Yeah.
And then now that I've got my little boy, it's just pushing me even more to be consistent in that, to be that role model for him.
There's a guy I think you need to meet. A relative of mine, Linton Rowan. Okay. Linton Rowan was a fireman, and he went he was sort of high up in the fire service. Just as a generational kind of link, because I think more and more. Initially, why I wanted to talk about the whole Black History Month is because yesterday I went down I had a conversation with somebody. Then I went sort of, like into this rabbit hole of thinking, what are we doing as a community? Because this month is Black History Month, right? And even like from activities throughout the month, they've been sporadic. I know we did the Trims and Talk at the showroom, and then there was the choir, the choir that
on Sunday.
On Sunday. Was it Crucible?
No, it was a cathedral, wasn't it?
No,
on Saturday was at
Saturday
the
was a Crucible, and then there was the church event on the Sunday. But I was thinking there was no cohesive programming of activities across the city, so that people at least are informed on a regular basis. And also, even then, it's just people ad hoc, organization doing things in a silo. And I think we should do better in that. And that's why, for me, when you have conversation with people like Dave Campbell, because I think Dave Campbell is a gem to the city, and people like Linton, who have done well for themselves, who I think should be contributing to a wider strategic outlook of the city pertaining to our community, so that these guys here don't have to go far to at least connect, or at least to map out their own.
So maybe there's a
trajectory.
call there out then for maybe the likes of you and I and others then to actually be and I know there are groups out there which are trying to strategically pull things together. So actually it is easier to access, because what people want, I feel people may want or may benefit from, is that there's an easy access. Say, during this particular month, these are the things. These things are taking place, and I'd like to go to this, that, the other, etc., there.
Definitely,
and that's quite difficult to think at the moment.
Oh yeah, definitely. But I think you're right in saying that people would definitely want and appreciate. I'd love something like that. But again, it's not necessarily also just on you guys to be doing that.
No. I think the call is for all of us. In a sense, the
that
call is for all
conversation,
of us, isn't it? In our own little ways, we should be able to contribute to that.
Sort of like intergenerational conversation around the table, which I think still outside the black man's conversations, either at Fades or the one at SACMA, I don't think I'm privy of anything else. I know there's a working group that you're part of. You're working.
Oh, the working group.
Yeah,
I think there's lots of things taking place, and it's your point you're making, which is how can you put together a sort of something together where people can say these are some of the things taking place. I mean, take 6+1. 6+1 takes place. There's other working groups taking place. There's a whole array of things taking place. We just need to know a bit more about it. And, I think that might be one of the things. And if we relate it back to the sort of mental health side of things, that it's so important that people have outlets. Outlets which actually just make you feel good. It could be a book club, it could be the cinema, it could be, you name it, things which actually you can access there and go to because you want to go and enjoy something to feel relaxed. Because often that's one of the problems when we've got difficulties, isn't it? That you don't have an outlet for I just want to chill for a bit.
Yeah, and I think again coming back to 6+1, the reason I like that so much is because it's not just a run on a Wednesday evening and a Saturday. Like from that, like I say, we've been on holiday together. I mean, what was it, last Friday? What did we do? I think a group of us went bowling last Friday, just off the cuff. And then Saturday we went out for food and drinks, off the cuff. And then Sunday we was chilling out. Then, what were we on Tuesday? Yeah, yesterday, again, we went out for food, just off the cuff. So
and because that's one of the things, loneliness. Loneliness can hit anyone at any time. You can be there, you go to work, you come home, you're on your own. A lot of people live on their own, and if you're a young person, you want to be going out and meeting people, it can be quite difficult. So actually you need to find a vehicle sometimes to actually have that connection with other people.
I think that's the thing for me as well. I think a lot of people think that our generation is all about drinking and clubbing and blah, 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 but that's never really been for me. Like, I've done it to make sure like I'm with friends, so to speak, or I'm at least doing something with my friends, but I've never really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
So,
and you do get to a point around 30-something, you think to yourself, if I'm still doing
what
this
am
in
I
my
doing?
30s, what am I doing?
Exactly.
You know what I mean, late
But
teens,
even
early
like
20s.
even in my late teens, early 20s, like we would go on party holidays and I would be spending like every other night in just watching Netflix on my phone or something. Like, it's never been for
Yes.
me, but I've just been to
Yeah.
spend the time with my friends. Whereas now, again, at 6+1, it's, yeah, people might want to go out and have a drink and what have you and a dance, but there's still just as many people that will happily, like, it's my birthday next week, for example.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well, happy
yes.
birthday.
And next day, happy
Thank you.
birthday, man.
And
And what age are you?
29.
29, big man.
baby.
Pension soon.
Hey,
Pension
nearly
soon.
3-0. When it's 3-0, then you are stopping.
Exactly.
Then from them likes it, that was, it takes a
downhill.
nose there.
But the point I was
I'm
going to
kidding.
make is, yeah, so it's my birthday next week, and obviously, like, I enjoy spending my time with them. I've got a lot of friends and what have you in that group now. So we're just going to have a board games night at my house,
Yeah.
and I'm cooking, you know, rice and peas, more
Yes.
than rice, bit of chicken. They're all going to bring a plate of something.
Oh,
and
so
some
you're
board
gonna
games.
cook.
Yeah, oh, nice
And
one.
that's how I'm celebrating my birthday. But to me, that sounds perfect.
Yeah,
No,
absolutely.
that is,
But-
that's awesome.
But so, I mean, like, you'd probably look at our generation and think, oh, you know, you got to go to a club and spend like however many thousands on a table and a VIP area. And that's not for me. And I love the fact that there's so many people in that community that are of the same ilk and the same mindset of me. Is like, yeah, let's go and have a good time and just have a laugh at someone's house
yeah.
and enjoy food together, like it was when I was
Yeah.
growing up. You know, you
Yeah.
sat in someone's living room just eating and chatting and
Yeah.
cracking
Oh,
joke.
And what board games you playing?
Got Monopoly.
Oh,
Sheffield version. Obviously, we've got a games console where you can use like your
in the
phone.
Sheffield version, what's this sort of fancy houses then?
Do you know what? I've not played it in years, Don. I think.
Is it all Whirlo?
I think, yeah, it's like Dore and Totley, like train station or something like that. But they've got like Bramall Lane and Hillsborough
Yes.
there and them sort of things, and Meadow. I think Meadowall's one of them as well, actually. But yeah, so that's what I'm doing for my birthday, and I'd like I say, outside of seeing my son, which I am, I couldn't really think of anything better.
Yeah.
So I love the fact that I found a community that are very much like-minded to me, because I've got my friends that I've grown up with who are to a sense, but I know that 6+1 are always going to be. There's always going to be someone that wants to do something
Yeah.
similar to me. I'm always going to be able to find that.
And you want that, don't you? I mean,
Yeah.
again, you know, you want to have people who you can do some of, because your friends they don't all want to do what you want to do.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And there's some things which your friends think, what? Is
Exactly.
he into that?
Yeah, exactly.
And they can never get their head around it. But you have a friend you can do that with. Or you have a group of friends you can do that with.
Yeah.
And I think you need to have that.
Yeah, definitely.
So how has fatherhood been like for you?
I love fatherhood. My experience has obviously been probably not the normal experience.
yeah.
I would say it's been a difficult experience, but in terms of being a father, I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
I like if I could do anything again in another life, I'd pick being a father over anything.
Is it?
There's not a day that goes by where being a dad doesn't feel like the best time of my life.
Yeah.
It's
And
probably
what
the
is
best.
it about? What's that feeling you have then?
I don't. People ask me this, and you can't explain like the love you have for a child until you've had a child. Like, and obviously you guys are both fathers, but I don't know. It's like no matter how sad or negative I'm feeling, I could just look at a photo of my son, see a video of him laughing for literally like a second, and it's like instantly my spirits are lifted.
Yeah.
He's just like a unlimited source of happiness. No matter how I'm feeling, what I've gone
Absolutely.
through, all I need to do is see his face.
When my daughter was 6, so that's 30 years ago, I remember it was around this time of year, because we were walking up the road back up to the house, and all the leaves were out, and the leaves were all crunchy and crinkly, and she's walking through the leaves, and I was holding her hand, and I thought to myself, it can't get any better. And there are occasions when you're with your children, your child, where you think to yourself, it can't get any better. You know, because there was a contentment you have in yourself. I'm here for this.
Yeah.
No, but that's it. That's why I usually kind of have this young fella who was across, you know, at the back with me. I mean, like when my boys are around, this feeling of, it continues. You know what I'm saying? That kind of thing, because I know from an African culture, it's like your kids are your wealth. Somehow there's that sense, even though some cultures will look at it from a different kind of point of view, but it's the sense of, you know, something remains behind when you when you move on. You know what I'm saying? So it's not so much. I remember talking to somebody about this concept of legacy and what have you. And he says, you guys are always talking about legacy. What about the now? And I do understand that. I think if the now is done right, then you don't have to worry about legacy.
Yeah. Well, I think that's a good point, that the now, because, if I take back to that point, what I was saying about this, 6-year-old child, and I'm walking with that child, and I'm feeling this is the best it can be. Now, if you can create as many feelings like that, then you are, in a sense, having good relationships with your child.
Yeah.
We know, we've talked about this in the group there, about how guys, guys and women, but mainly a lot of guys there, they have difficulties with, the mother of their child, and they split up, and, you could be married and you get divorced, and there's all sorts of fractions in it. And then the guy moves away, doesn't have the contact with the children, and then he gets to my age, and they'll be saying, and I hear it, kids don't come to see me.
Mm-hmm. But what did he expect?
And it's hard.
Yeah.
It's hard. These guys are hurted because what they would like is for their children to come and see them and to spend some time with them and want to be with them and all the other bits there. And there they are, and they're there in the house on their own, and they're not getting a phone call, they're not getting anything at all there. But you have to have put something in before.
100%. That's why I'll... Yeah.
If you don't put it in now, you don't get a legacy.
Yeah.
No. That's not as true as anything.
I think for me, the fact that I grew up without my dad as well makes me want to be the best dad I can be so much more. And that's why I'm fighting so hard for my son. So, it's definitely just those little moments. Like, for me, at the minute, like, Enzo will... If ever I've got him, he'll always fall asleep in the car. But then when I pick him up, he'll just rest his head on my shoulder. And to me, like, it makes me feel so just good inside. Because he's thinking, my dad's...
All fuzzy and warm.
Yeah, he's woke me from my sleep to get me out my car seat. But I know I'm comforted on my dad's shoulder, and I can just go straight back to sleep. So it's just those little things like that.
But that's the thing. I think, like, sometimes I think the feeling of being a kid and having your dad around. Because usually dads are like larger than life. You think that your father is Superman, in many a case. I would like to think that. Even though some of us think our fathers were tyrants.
No, we let you just roll with that one there. And I've got this image of you now, like Superman figure.
Yeah, like a Superman figure and stuff. Some of us we thought they were like the bane of our existence. Right, you know what I'm saying? But I think the archetype of the father is this looming figure that basically will envelope you in their strength and just make you, as a boy, I won't know about girls, I probably feel the same way, but as a boy that translates to you and you want to become like your father.
Yeah, but it's interesting you said strength, and as you said strength, it made me think, well, what sort of strength are we talking about? Are we talking about a sort of like physical strength, which I wasn't hearing? I was hearing more an emotional strength.
Yeah, I think more emotional than that mental fortitude.
And emotional strength there, which is a much harder one, isn't it?
It is
because there's an element of consistency with emotional strength there. There's a consistency, the reliability, all those things there, which they have to basically get tested. Continually. They get tested when you're having to juggle a number of different sort of responsibilities as well, including times when you just want to do your own thing.
That's it.
And you got to curb your own thing.
That's it.
And sometimes that's not easy. We know guys, it's hard to curb your own thing. I want to do this, I want to do that. No, you've got that responsibility.
That's it.
And I'm saying that as someone, I was probably just a typical dad myself there who just liked doing some of my own things.
But I think it's different for me. But I think that's obviously, again, you guys are aware of my situation. So for me, I'm the complete opposite in like anything and everything I can do with him, I'm doing it.
Yeah.
But obviously, like I say, it's understandable given the difference.
Your situation is a different situation there because you don't have your child all the time. So the time you do have your child, they're the precious times, aren't they?
Yeah. I think as well, I can't remember, you made a comment earlier about your generation not expressing love or what have you to say their children, or like say your parents' generation not being able to express it to you. And like I said, I grew up without my dad, but I remember the first and only time I recall him telling me that he loves me was the day that we buried my granddad. And I don't know, it always sits with me. I just think, should it have to take you burying your dad and my granddad to let your son know that you love him? I don't know.
No, but
so it's an interesting one.
That's a very interesting point. I think sometimes we get those glimpses of clarity, and it's usually through the sort of like dark moments that we get a glimpse of clarity. Like if I don't remedy this thing, it will carry on, and then, cause what would have been interesting is to have that conversation with your father about his father. You will suddenly realize that usually fractured men had fractured fathers.
See, I know that's not the case with my granddad, though. Because although I didn't grow up with my dad, I was still very close to my granddad.
No, but then also one thing you have to realize is that the same way your relationship with your father maybe was his relationship. Because as grandfathers,
it's different again.
Nothing you wouldn't do for
it's easier.
It's far easier because for starters, they only come for a moment and then they go back to them.
You just have to show love all the time. Whereas you don't have to discipline, you don't have to have all the bits which you have when you've got your children there. So being a grandfather, this is my experience to date, is different to being a dad.
Oh yeah, okay.
And I think you're talking about saying those words at a funeral, and picking up your point there, Lungani, which is how often people will say at funerals, we must do X, Y, and Z.
Yes, we should do better.
We should meet more. And then it never comes to fruition.
Whereas I do it. I was talking to someone today this lunchtime at work, and she was saying how they were going to have a sort of a live celebration, and people are doing these things where they're sort of like making the effort to actually meet now. Because people in 50s and 60s and 70s, they want to invite their families around for events, etc. Because otherwise, if you don't, you'll only go to someone's funeral.
But that's the thing, to your point, Don. It's like, I don't know. I think sometimes there's this disconnect amongst families or what have you. But I think at some point we start off very well, and then it's consistency that sometimes we fail. Because when you were talking about, kind of being in somebody's front room and just yumming some food,
talking rubbish,
talking rubbish and playing board games or something. We did that when my boys were growing up. We did that because me, I'm the one who came into a already curated space or a family network. So I was engrafted. But then, when you come into a space, you see the dysfunction and the cracks and stuff, and then you want to bring people in. And because as an African, I won't say our system is perfect, but I'll say we strive on collectivity, on that sense of there's a tribe, so you engraft people into your space. The way you have done with 6+1, you have done with the men's network, with Storm and all that, and also your banter with like people like Robert and stuff. Because sometimes I watch that and I think, this is a beautiful thing. You know what I'm saying? That thing of being able to connect with people across generations. Because I think without that, for somebody who came into a part of the world where I didn't have family or nothing, and yet now I have all of you. You know what I'm saying? So, and I know I can reach out to anybody and say, guys, I'm going through a thing. Is there anything you can offer to just
But you've got to put a bit of the work in, haven't you?
Yes.
It's not going to happen without some work. So you describe yourself within the family you came into. There was work which you did. It's not going to happen just because you're there.
No, it won't.
I think you have to be vulnerable to
That's it.
to that, and it's that vulnerability and whether you're willing to do that. And I think to some extent, sometimes you can just be there, but eventually you're going to have to open up.
Well, yeah, some of the being there sometimes is that you're not trying to take over.
Yeah.
A lot of it, and you know, I'm going to go with this one, which I'm not the best at, which is listen. You know, listen. You know, and hear, because so often when someone's talking to you, the other person's not listening to you.
Yeah.
No, sometimes, let me tell you.
They're just wait for you to stop. And wait for you to stop so they can then speak and say their piece there. So you end up with this sort of like monologue going between two people. And actually, when you have somebody who actually does listen to you, that really is quite a powerful thing because
100%.
they've heard you.
Yeah, I've experienced that firsthand with you guys and the group. Because, again, like I said, I tried to get on with things myself initially. And then having been able to come to the group and voice to you guys my situation and what I'm going through, knowing that you actually genuinely listened and I was getting some input back from like an impartial point of view, as opposed to say my family or friends, that massively helped. Even just drag me out of a lull or like a low point to, you know, just start moving back up to a more positive place.
And some of that, the low points are, which is, for that 2 hours, whatever, you're better than what you were. And we need that, especially when we go through difficult times. You can't, if you stay down there all the time, it's too much. I just need to be lifted occasionally. You know, there's another lift, there's another lift, there's another lift, there's another lift.
And over time,
absolutely,
your base level's just drawn higher and higher.
And I think also one thing I'm learning, especially with the group, I mean, like Storm, is the fact that there's like this collective celebration. We won't say it, but for me, I think there's when I see people getting over the thing or dealing with the thing, I'm like, I'm glad I witnessed that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That kind of thing, because I know if I was going through a thing, it would be nice to know that you have like 20 strong men basically just saying, you know,
we're here with you. So.
Yeah, we're here. Yeah. We're here. Then some may just come in just and review and just, you know, and kind of say inappropriate stuff that doesn't go anywhere. But that banter sometimes, you know, kind of goes a long way to kind of distract us from the thing we're dealing with, even momentarily, just to help us to jump the hurdle, you know. And sometimes, you know, like somebody gives you advice, you're like, damn, where's that coming from? Because it doesn't make sense. But that's cool, man. That's cool.
So as you know, approach your 29 next, approaching your 30s there, I mean, can I go with this one? Which is basically, next 5 years, if you have the sort of like, you know, 5 year, this is where I want to be 5 years. Where's your 5 years? I want to be here in 5 years' time. That's mine.
I think this might sound a bit of a mad one, but growing up, my main goal in life was always to just be like a dad and a family man.
Oh, right. Yeah.
So I would love
that's great.
I'd love to just be like a fiance, a husband, have my own family to nurture, like a partner to grow old with, obviously. Just be there for my son and maybe another child or two, and just...
We can be a nice little advert for you.
But yeah, I think
if any of those beautiful ladies that
I think for as long as I can remember,
come to the 6+1 club,
the main goal in my life is like, I've just always loved the idea of just having my own family to nurture and grow up with. I don't know if that's because obviously I grew up without my dad, so I only had my mum, and don't get me wrong, I had them male figures there, but I think that's always been like a main goal of mine. So I'd love to just have my own family, my own little home, and just be content in life. You know, I don't want riches. I just want enough that my family all right and that I can help.
It's a beautiful thing what you're saying.
Yeah,
beautiful.
No, it's a beautiful, because it's. Some of us, we didn't know the archetype. You know, like sometimes, because we fall into this thing. We fell into...
Well, I fell into it without thinking too much about it.
Yes,
and then actually you look back and think it was the best thing which happened to me.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
But at the time I wasn't thinking... No, I was thinking, I've fallen into it. And whereas what really in my heart of hearts, it's what I wanted. And again, I think that's a problem. Sometimes some guys get sort of like the external world's telling them, you know, you're not supposed to be, but actually that's really what I wanted.
I think I've known I've always wanted that, definitely. And I think, obviously, me and my son's mum aren't together now, but I feel like I got to a point where very close to that. So I think that's maybe why it hit me so much when that broke down.
Yeah.
But I'm still very much a believer in like true love and I don't know, just stuff in today's generation.
You've got me feeling all warm inside.
Type of way, man. Believe in love, man. No. Love is a beautiful thing, man. It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I mean, I know. I mean, we are so grateful again for stepping in. For stepping in, like the last, and which is another thing I've realized about you, because I remember when Rob went on his hiatus.
Oh yeah,
and you stepped in.
You were very good. You were very, very good.
Yeah, it was a collective
effort. No, you were very good there, because you got us to speak. You got us to listen.
Yeah.
And that in itself, I don't think you should undervalue getting a group of guys together where they all had something to say and they all listened to one another. Yeah. And I came away thinking, I had my piece, but I also listened to most of the other guys here as well.
Yeah, because you exude that. I mean, that's personally, that's what I've always noticed. There's always that this like sort of like quiet observance and then being able to do what you need to do, and this I admire that, from one so young.
Yeah, I also like the volume. Your volume was quieter.
Don't
say anymore.
It's a quieter volume, man.
He knows who he is.
Yes, we're talking about our illustrious leader.
You Rob.
No,
It was quiet.
No, let me tell you, as long as I've known Rob, he's been an amazing human being.
Oh, he's a great man.
Yeah.
But to be honest, it's like I think I have met a lot of solid brothers, in these groups. Like even like the other group we go to at SACMA,
I've been meaning to come to that actually.
It's
again, I mean, I know we're getting towards the end of such thing, but we all say this. We're saying it a lot, and I don't want it to sound as sort of like bigging ourselves up. But we're not bigging ourselves up. I think we're bigging up the people we've met.
Yes,
we're bigging up the people who've come onto this show, onto the podcast there, and shared with us some of their stories, some of their thoughts, some of their ideas, the way in which they've sort of navigated life itself and what life throws at it. And we've had incredible people, and you've been another one of the incredible people, which tells us about the incredible people within the community. We do ourselves down a lot.
Which basically means then we are walking in the right circles, bro.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think you do need to big yourselves up. We're providing that platform.
We are hanging around with people who know their stuff. You know what I'm saying? And we're just hanging on their coattails.
You should give yourself some flowers as well, because obviously you guys are providing the platform.
We're trying, bro.
The workshops and what have you, and the talks. So yeah, big up to you too.
And also we have to mention 24th of November.
Yes.
We have another pop-up barbershop event at the University of Sheffield for those who are available, especially students or some of the community members, to come and support the event. I mean, we have free haircuts for some of you who can't afford a haircut as students. We know times are tight, and Keir Starmer is not helping. And
the budget's not going to have enough.
The budget is not helping at all. I mean, we thought he was gonna when Labour came, we were rejoicing, but it was short-lived.
Yeah, very short-lived.
So the event is coming again. University of Sheffield, probably it's going to be the same place.
Same place again, between 11 and 3 o'clock.
Yeah.
Last year it was a great experience.
Yeah,
lots of chilled out times and conversations, and just a communion. It was a communion of people there. So that's where we first met. Let's hope we can get the same. Well, it's an invite to people.
Yeah, it'd be nice. Actually, I think it would be nice because, like there are certain career paths which people have taken, and it would be nice to kind of make it a point to kind of share where people are.
Yeah.
Because you have some of these young cats, I mean, like you got the guy who runs Future.
Yep. Shout out Future.
Who
Manu
runs
Sekombe,
Future,
his brand.
And you're a firefighter. Then with people like Henry who work in the fire service also. Jerome was a finance guy. And of course we have the old faithful, like Dave, Dave and, people like Angela and stuff. So
we've got a last question, which I know you do 6+1, but maybe, unless you go with it, Lungani.
So, we usually ask this, what is your thing? What is that thing that puts you in that good mental health space? Your ritual.
Ooh. Oh, my ritual for putting myself into a good space.
Yeah.
Ooh, I would say finding gratitude in the small things in life. So I love, say, nature, for example.
Yeah.
So quite often I might feel in a lull, and it'll be over the last year and a half, definitely, it's one of two things. One being the Bible, I'm reading my scripture, and then two, like I say, it's taking note of the little things in life and like the beauty of the little things in life. Like literally, there's a valley on the back of my house, so I'll just watch, birds of prey hunting, or I'll literally just look at the sky. I just think nature's beautiful. So for me, I just find it easy to just feel happy knowing that there's such beauty in the world, and I'm only seeing this little snippet of it. Yeah, yes. I'm seeing this little snippet of it, and then there must be so much more out there. So just educating myself on different cultures, nature, cultures, whether it's music, art, food, language, whatever. I think it's educating myself on the diversity in the world and taking gratitude for the little things.
Well, that's brilliant.
That's beautiful, man.
Well, thank you.
We haven't had somebody articulate it so beautiful and poetic. Yes. So the boy is a poet, man.
I try. I'm learning from you two the best.
Thanks a lot, man. Thank you.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Jacob!
Well, thank you very much for coming along there. I hope it was all right for you.
Yeah, no, I've been wanting to get on anyway, so yeah. when I saw Lungani put that on, I was on it,
When you responded,
bring me on.
The others are like,
no way.
I probably don't have anything to speak about.
Well, you got loads to say, absolutely loads, and, very interesting, very, very interesting indeed.
No, as are you guys, no, like I say, I appreciate it.
I'm totally serious. I mean, the Storm, Robert's the key man there. But it was good to have a difference, because it was quieter, and it just felt different. And I think Rob chose well in asking you to do it. That's often a sign of leadership is who you ask to do something. They're not like me completely, but they can give something else.
And I appreciate that. Thank you. But you guys like.
No, thank you very much.
Got anything planned for the rest of the day?
No, I'm going to go home. I've got to walk my daughter's dog.
Oh, nice.
So that's what I have to do. So where do you live then? You said
I live near Crystal Peaks.
Oh, that's okay then.
So, I'm like south side.
It's quite way out, isn't it?
Yeah, pretty much like 2 minutes from the M1 sort of thing.
Yeah, it's a bit of a...
So practically nearly countryside.
Oh, it's same. It's everything.
Again, which is, I quite enjoy being up there compared to where I grew up, because I love, like I say, I love nature, so I'm out walking.
Yeah, you're complete opposite side of town, aren't you?
Yeah.
So this guy is doing exactly the same thing that I do. I'm probably kind of doing it.
You do?
I'm attempting to. It's not like a...
And what is that?
No, he's studying
digital media production.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
You're at Sheffield, aren't you, Hallam?
Yeah.
Nice. Is it first year?
Yeah, I'm on first year now.
Yeah, how's it going?
It's good. I'm just tired 24/7. Is
that your own doing though?
Yeah, no, it's not.
Is.
My sleep schedule's
Is
completely
anything to do with the course?
Last week he came. He's like, "Oh yeah, I couldn't sleep until about 4 a.m. I'm like, so when he left,
my sleep schedule's
I'm like,
garbage.
to his mom, I'm like, this boy, he'll be on his phone until like early hours of the morning.
Gaming.
Hey, what time did you text me this morning? 3 o'clock.
Yeah?
You text me at 3:52.
I was awake.
What are you doing at 3:52? You're talking to your son about things, and then you're 3:50.
Let me tell you, I woke up early to go for my run and stuff. So 4 o'clock, cause the clocks went back, right?
Yeah.
I'm awake at 4 now.
Jeez.
And I'm awake, like awake. And let me tell you.
Well, you can't get back to sleep or
No, I
wake.
can't.
When do you sleep?
That's weird. It's very, very weird.
When do you sleep?
I need to get into that routine.
Oh,
I don't know.
No, I stay. I wake up and I go to sleep.
Really?
Is it?
I wake up about 3 times a night.
I'm a bad
A man of my age, I have to go to the toilet.
No, it's true.
What
But-
time are you getting up, Don? Like, what time do you average you get up, like, up?
Oh, 7.
Like, wake up. Okay.
7 to half
Let me
7.
tell you, if I wake up at that time, I think I have missed.
Missed half the day.
Yes.
No, I'm not a 5:30. You're one of those 5
No?
o'clock boys. You know that 5 o'clock club.
I have struggled with sleep for years.
No, not been a problem for me.
Maybe there's some people in like podcast land there. You could probably
Podcast
kind
land.
of help us with a sleep regime. That
I'll give you
kinda-
one. He's called Andrew Huberman.
Andrew Huberman.
Listen to him.
Yeah.
He does all neurology and stuff about sleep and cerebral
Really?
cortex and stuff. Yeah.
Well, you're supposed to have very little stimulus before you go to sleep.
Yeah.
But that's the thing.
You've got, I mean, we all do it, don't we? You know, you've got your phones, you've got this, you've got that.
TVs,
Suppose,
laptop.
you should have an hour, let's say,
Yeah.
without any stimulus.
All right.
Because you just let your brain waves just go down. And, yeah.
I try to read more.
But I think my brain waves are constantly firing.
You need to get yourself into a new routine,
Yeah.
Levan. It's
Yeah,
consistency.
'cause I always read before I go to sleep.
You need,
Always read. Every night I read.
You know how
What,
many
what do
books
you read?
Novels, factual books. So a book I've just finished was a book by, I tell you about that guy who's, he writes in The Observer, called Keenan Malik.
Okay.
And he's got a book called Not So Black and White.
Okay.
And he spoke at, he was at the university 2 weeks ago. So I've just finished this book, which I've read a second time.
Nice.
All right.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard of Edward de Bono?
I have, yeah. I've not read any of his stuff really,
I
though.
quite like
yeah.
him. So.
That's philosophy.
Kind of like, yeah, like philosophy, lateral thinking,
Yeah.
all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, I really like him. Alain de Botton, he's another good one.
Yeah, no. He once said something about, I remember one of his quotes was about people going on holiday. And this is when people used to go on holiday once a year. They save up, they work all year, save up for 2 weeks holiday. And he said what people need to do is to find something which is at the end of the week, which is going to make them feel, which nowadays people do a lot more, don't
Yeah.
they? They, during the, and you see it during the day. Of an evening now, you can be driving Ecclesall Road, Abbeydale Road, you'll see people running, you'll see all sorts of people doing these wholesome things. I'm thinking, wow, this is incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Because for me, I used to find it very bizarre when I first came to this part of the world where people would be seeing them running. I'm like,
It's everywhere now.
why are white people always running?
Oh.
People are cycling
Because I
now.
never saw black people, actually out, jogging. Now I am that black person.
Hey, but when I was in my 20s, early 20s, and I used to like going walking.
Yeah.
And I used to play, I've told you this many times, go walking, and then you say to the guys, they say, what are you doing tomorrow? I say, hey, I'm going walking. What walk for? Yeah, mate, that's something.
But that's it. I think that's what I'm saying. For me, I found that whole jogging thing, it was never my thing. Maybe it's never because even when I was a kid, I was always rubbish at like anything to do with athletics.
Physical exertion.
Yes.
Yeah, you didn't get picked into the team then?
No.
You're the one left on the wall?
No.
Yeah,
I
because we were at school.
I was never picked. I was the only guy, to be honest. I think that's why I took martial arts more. I preferred martial arts
Yeah.
rather than athletics and stuff. Simply because it was more, it's a practical thing, something that you can do just to safeguard your own safety.
Yeah.
So, good people?
Okay, then.
Trends.